Martha Needle was a very unlucky person. Shortly after she and her husband and their 3 baby daughters moved into a house in Richmond, her eldest daughter, Mabel, died after a short illness. A few years later, her husband Henry died of a mysterious illness, and over the next 2 years, her remaining daughters, Elsie and May, also died. Left alone in the world, Martha became a housekeeper for 2 brothers. Then one of them also died.
These are the blunders from down thunder that made Australia great.
Welcome to this episode of Blunders Down Under, laughable lessons from the past, in which we talk about dumb decisions from the past that have helped make Australia great. I'm Josh McGrath.
And I'm John Gibbs, and today we're talking about Martha Needle, the Black Widow who became a secret poisoner and murdered her husband, her children, and one of her lodgers.
So who was Martha Needle?
Martha Charles was born on 9th April 1863 in Morgan, South Australia. Her parents, Mary and Joseph, lived in poverty, and Joseph died soon after Martha's birth. Mary remarried, and it was a violent and unhappy marriage. Mary was frequently beaten by her second husband, and Mary was an alcoholic and violent towards her children. When Martha was 12, her stepfather was convicted of sexually abusing her.
How did Martha eventually escape from this traumatic childhood home?
Martha left home at the age of 13 to begin working as a housekeeper. At the age of 18, she married Henry Needle, a fit and handsome carpenter, and for a brief period they had a happy marriage. However, the relationship soon deteriorated into inherited patterns of domestic violence. Martha gave birth to 3 daughters, Mabel, Elsie and May. The family moved from Adelaide to Richmond in Victoria in 1885.
What happened to Martha's first daughter?
Martha's oldest daughter, Mabel, became sick in December 1885, suffering from fever, vomiting and spasms of the stomach. She died at the age of 3 on the 28th of December. The doctor certified that the child had died from cerebral tumour, congenital, and respiratory and cardiac bronchitis. Mabel's life had been insured for £100, and Martha successfully claimed the insurance money.
What happened to Martha's husband?
In 1889, Martha's husband Henry fell ill with a mysterious illness, suffering from acute vomiting. This was a surprise to his doctor because Henry was normally in robust health. He also seemed to be unwilling to eat food that his wife had prepared for him. On the 4th of October, Henry died with his wife by his side. The doctor recorded the cause of death as subacute hepatitis, persistent vomiting, enteric fever, and exhaustion due to obstinacy in not taking nourishment. Henry's life had been insured for £200.
What happened after Henry died?
About 1 year later, Martha's eldest remaining daughter, Elsie, became sick. The doctor thought that the 6-year-old girl was suffering from measles, but the symptoms included vomiting. The illness continued for 2 months, during which her mother always appeared to be kind and attentive. Elsie died on 9th December 1890.
With only one child remaining, what happened next?
7 months later, Martha's only remaining daughter, the 4-year-old May, fell sick. The most obvious symptom was constant vomiting. The doctor was unable to satisfy himself as to the cause of her illness. May died on the 27th of August 1891. The cause of death written on her death certificate was tubercular meningitis.
Now that she was alone in the world, what did Martha do next?
After the deaths of her daughters, Martha moved into a house adjoining a saddlery business operated by 2 brothers, Otto and Louis Junkin, whom she had known in Adelaide. Martha began an affair with Otto, and they became engaged, but Louis objected to the proposed marriage because Martha had frequent outbursts of temper and sometimes became unresponsive for long periods of time. Otto's mother and older brother were also opposed to the marriage, and Otto was reluctant to marry against his family's wishes.
What happened to Louis?
In August 1893, Louis fell ill for a period of about 10 or 12 days. He then suffered another bout of illness in April 1894 with the same symptoms of violent and unexplained vomiting. He had largely recovered by May when he suffered another fit of vomiting, and he died on the 15th of May. The death certificate specified the cause of death as exhaustion and inflammation of the stomach and membranes of the heart.
What did Louis's family do after his death?
Herman Juncken, the older brother of Otto and Louis, came to Melbourne from Adelaide with his mother to sort out the effects of the recently deceased Louis. Both Herman and the mother continued to be opposed to the marriage of Otto and Martha. Soon after arriving in Melbourne, Herman started to feel ill, with similar symptoms to those of Louis. This time, the doctor arranged for a sample of Herman's vomit to be analysed.
And what did the test show?
The results of the analysis came back. It contained arsenic coloured by charcoal, similar to the ingredients of a type of rat poison. The doctor referred the findings to the police, who decided to set a trap. The next time that Martha offered Herman a cup of tea, he was to keep the cup for analysis. He did so, and the cup was found to contain 10 grains of arsenic, enough to kill 5 people. The police quickly investigated and found a box of rough-on rats rat poison in the cupboard.
And what did the police do next?
The police then exhumed the body of Louis Juncken. It was found to contain 3.4 grains of arsenic. The bodies of Henry Needle, Elsie Needle and May Needle were also exhumed, and all were found to contain traces of arsenic. Martha was charged with the murder of Louis and the attempted murder of Herman. She protested her innocence.
Well, who did she choose as her lawyer?
Martha chose as her lawyer David Gaunson, who was famous for having defended Ned Kelly. The trial of Ned Kelly didn't go well for Ned, and Martha's trial didn't go well for her either. After a trial lasting 3 days, Martha was found guilty and sentenced to death. She maintained her innocence until the end, and her fiancé, Otto, also believed in her innocence, despite the strong circumstantial evidence against her. She was executed on 22nd October 1894.
What happened some years after Martha's execution?
Some 26 years after Martha Needle was hanged, her nephew, Alexander Newland Lee, was also hanged for the murder by poisoning of his wife and 3 of his 7 children. Poison seems to run in the family.
What's the moral of this story?
You can sometimes get away with doing sly and secret things to gain a financial advantage or to obtain revenge on your enemies, but when the truth comes out, you will end up paying for your crimes.